I watched each episode 3 times, and there were still things I missed that I haven't talked about in my other videos. And don't worry, I haven't forgot about the top 5 comments. I'm still doing that, and they'll be featured in my episode 5 video. So keep dropping your theories, because some of y'all have noticed things I completely missed. So I want to talk about the age clue in episode 1 because I may have a theory. So in this scene, Patricia is in the hospital telling Shep that she learned her biological age is 28. But earlier in the episode, Tom says Patricia is around 40 years old. Then Tom finds out that Shep's biological age is 37, and even he says that doesn't seem right. That immediately makes me think, what if this is some kind of time dilation? In sci-fi stories like Hyperion or the Forever War, there's a concept called time debt. It's the physical age gap you accumulate related to people on Earth when traveling near the speed of light. Because time slows down for you, you age biologically slower than everyone else. You return younger while the world around you keeps moving. So what if something similar is happening in Widow's Bay? My theory is that Patricia and Shep, because they were born on the island, were granted survival or even immortality by a supernatural force, but with a cost. The island initially loans them life, but collects a cosmic tax in return. That could explain why the biological ages don't match their actual ages. And maybe if they leave the mainland permanently, they wouldn't survive because the time debt catches up to them all at once. Now, I could reference this time debt to the TV show called Lost, but there is only one problem. Lost explored time differently, focused on time loops, erratically skipping through time on the island, and a purgatory afterlife state. So I could not compare those two regarding the age. Then there's another detail from episode 1, and that one kind of stood out to me. Now, Tom is exploring the history of Widow's Bay to Arthur and describes the island as a blank canvas, completely empty. Then Jerry quickly responds, except for teeth. At first, I thought this line sounds random, but now it feels like foreshadowing, because later when Tom spends the night at the inn, he discovers a game involving teeth and pliers. The show keeps bringing up teeth and its symbolism. Teeth often represents fear, transformation, or hidden anxiety. So I don't think that the reference was accidental. Now, let's jump into episode 2. Tom opens the cabinet and sees books and games, but one book really stood out to me, A Singular Man. It's a 1963 novel about a wealthy but deeply isolated man named George Smith. He struggles with paranoia, loneliness, strange encounters, and eventually builds a mausoleum to live in. Those themes sounds familiar, right? Isolation, paranoia, and loneliness. People slowly losing their grip on reality. Those ideas fit Widow's Bay almost perfectly. Not to mention, there's another book shown called We Carry Each Other, Getting Through Life's Toughest Times. It's a self-help book designed to help people cope with grief, illness, loss, and the emotional burden of caregiving. Now, remember what Tom told William back in episode 2? He talked about taking care of his father when he became ill. That makes me wonder if the book placement is actually foreshadowing. And in a show like Widow's Bay, where books often seem intentional, I don't think that detail was random. I also want to give a shout out to GGLPU, who said the scene after the botch party with Patricia walking in the middle of the road in the truck with the lights behind her gave big Carrie vibes. I think this person might be onto something. In Carrie, one of the first times Carrie White caused physical harm is when she throws a kid off a bike using her powers. There are also mentions involving exploding light bulbs and sudden bursts of violence tied to emotional trauma. In Carrie, the main tormentor is named Chris. In Widow's Bay, Patricia's tormentor is Chris as well. I am curious to know who were Patricia's parents and what happened to them, because this definitely is a heavy significance in Stephen King's work of Carrie. Then Jerry tells Arthur in episode 1 about wives waiting for their husband to return from sea, and most of them never did. I believe that's where the name Widow's Bay come from. Tom meets a seemingly friendly guest named William, who suddenly appears in clown makeup and lunges at him. See, I was so focused paying attention to William and that clown outfit or that clown makeup he had on, I forgot that there was a skeleton next to Tom that is wearing the exact same shirt as him. Because its subtitle suggests Tom may be repeating someone else's fate, almost like the island keeps recycling victims. Then in episode 3, Jerry tells visitors about Richard and his second wife, Sarah. But something strange happens. She refers to Richard as a widower, while also mentioning his second wife. The issue is a widower is someone whose spouse died and who hasn't remarried. But Richard clearly remarried, so why use the word? Regardless of the mistake in labeling Richard, I think this is an interesting detail. Because here's my theory. What if the hag is actually the spirit of Richard's first wife? And what if she specifically targets widowers who try to move on? Think about it. Tom is also a widower. The moment he starts connecting with Marissa, the hag appears. So maybe the hag isn't attacking random people. Maybe she's targeting men who survive while their wives don't. And if that's true, then the hag may not just be a monster. She could be grief turned into something much darker. I also want to mention about when Patricia was talking to that person in the party about how the boogeyman almost got to her as well. I realized, and it was in front of me the entire time, is that reference is actually the movie Halloween.
The boogeyman is coming. Leave me alone. He doesn't believe us. Yeah, we get candy. Boogeyman, ooh, the boogie.
So it made me think that was another heavy horror reference in that episode. Hell, there was a lot of horror references between episode 1 through 4, and I'm really enjoying it. Please let me know in the comments below your theories as well. And also, are you looking forward to episode 5? Because that's the next video that I will be reviewing, and I'll see you in the next one.